Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will study about photosynthesis. So let's start this topic and understand that what is photosynthesis. Okay, so let's go ahead. Photosynthesis. Green rays and plants by the carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight produce glucose and release oxygen gas. This process is known of photosynthesis. Okay, so what is known of the photosynthesis? So let's understand that green trees and plants by the carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight produce glucose and release oxygen gas. This process is known of photosynthesis. So what is known of the photosynthesis? Green trees and plants by the carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight produce glucose and release oxygen gas. This process is known as photosynthesis. So I hope you are understanding the perspective of photosynthesis, that what is photosynthesis. So green trees and plants by the carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight produce glucose and release oxygen gas. This process is known as photosynthesis. Okay. As well as you are remember the perspective of chlorophyll. Okay. So basically you are easily observe here each and every single day. You also identify here in surrounding. You can find that each and every single, you can say that of that most of the trees and plants looking green. So what is the reason behind that of trees and plants of looking green, or trees and plants that is the leaves is looking green? So I remember that by the chlorophyll. Okay, so basically each and every single of the trees and plants is looking green. The reason is behind that there is a present of the chlorophyll. So we are remember that there is particular of the trees and plants that is a present of the chlorophyll. This is the reason behind that trees and plants looking green. Okay, so I hope you are understand that. So we are remember that. Okay, in the words, or that is to say, 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O, chlorophyll, sunlight, C6H12O6 plus 6 O2 plus 6 H2O. Okay. So before we understand this particular of the equation, let's understand the definition of the photosynthesis with this particular of the equations. Okay, so let's understand that. Green trees and plants by the carbon dioxide, waters and chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight produce glucose and release oxygen gas. This process is known as photosynthesis. So what is known of the photosynthesis? We are remember that green rays and plants by the carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight produce glucose and release oxygen gas. This process is known of the photosynthesis. Okay, so I hope you are understand that. Okay, so let's understand this particular of the equations. Okay, so basically firstly there is also, you easily observe here, there is a present of the 6 molecule of the carbon dioxide and there is a present of the 12 molecule of the water. Okay, by the chlorophyll and the presence of sunlight, that is produced of the glucose of C6H12O6 and release oxygen gas. Okay, so you remember that what is the formula of the glucose? So basically you remember that C6H12O6 is the formula of glucose. Okay, so yeah, remember that. As well as you also know about that what is the formula of oxygen. So that is the formula of the oxygen, that is O2. Okay, that is oxygen. So let's understand this particular of the equation. Okay, so basically as well as in your mind coming to one question that where is come to this particular of the water molecules. Okay, so basically we also studied in the perspective of photosynthesis, that is just to produce of the glucose and release of the oxygen gas. Okay, so let's understand this particular of the equation. Then after that we are easily understand that where is come to this particular of the molecule of oxygen, of water molecules. Okay, so let's understand that. So there is a present of 6 molecule of the carbon dioxide, there is present of the 12 molecule of the water that is react with each other, so produce of the glucose as well as release of the oxygen gas. Okay, so basically apart from this particular of the produce of the glucose as well as of release of the oxygen gas, there is also available of the oxygen, we can say that oxygen and hydrogen molecule. Okay, so that's why oxygen and hydrogen that is react with each other. That's why that is produced of the water. Okay, so basically in this process that is also has come to the particular of the water molecule. Okay, so where is come to this particular of the water molecule? So yeah, remember that after produce of the glucose and release oxygen gas, there is also available of the oxygen and hydrogen. So basically that is react with each other. So that's why that is produced of the water molecule. Okay, so I hope you are understand that. So let's understand this particular of the equation as well as we are understanding this particular of the equation is satisfied or not. We can say that this particular of the equation is right or not. So let's understand in a simple. Okay. So basically we are also observed there is the present of the 6 molecule of the carbon dioxide and there is a present of the 12 molecule of the water. Okay, so let's understand that. So basically there is present of the number of carbon, so that is 6. Okay, so let's see, I denoted here. So basically the number of carbon that is 6 here. Let's see that oxygen. Okay, so basically we are easily observe here oxygen is present there molecular form. Okay, where form is present in the oxygen. So basically oxygen is present here in the molecular form. So basically that is also present of the 6. So 6 multiplied of 2. So basically the total number of the oxygen that is 18. That is 12. Okay, 6 multiplied of 2, that is 12. That is same thing that is also present of the 12 oxygen. Okay, so the oxygen that is 12. So the total number of the oxygen that is 12 plus 12, that is 24. Okay, how many? So that is 24. Hydrogen. So let's understand that how many hydrogen present here. So basically as well as hydrogen that is also present here in their molecular form. So that is also present in the 12. So 12 multiplied up to, so basically the total number of the hydrogen that is 24. Okay, so let's understand this particular of the equation as well as we understand this particular of the equation is right or wrong. So basically we also know about the molecular form of the, we can see that of the formula of the glucose that is C6H12O6 as well as produce of the oxygen gas. Okay, 6O2. Okay, so let's understand that. So basically there is present of the carbon, so that is 6. Okay, so the total number of the carbon, so that is 6. So that is also present here. As well as we observe there is a present of the oxygen, the total number of the oxygen that is 24. So there is a present of the 6 oxygen as well as there is a present of 6 multiplied of 2, so that is 12. So that is 18 oxygen. Okay, so basically there is also have available of 6 oxygen. Okay, so basically in this particular of the process that is also available of 6 number of oxygen as well as then there is also available of hydrogen. So basically the total number of hydrogen that is 24. So there is a present in the glucose, so there is a 12 hydrogen as well as there is also available of 12 hydrogen. Okay, so we are easily observe there is also available of the apart from glucose and oxygen gas, there is available of 6 oxygen and 12 hydrogen. So basically that is also reacted with each other, so that's why that is produced of the water molecule. Okay, so we are easily observe here there is a present of the 6 oxygen, there is a total number of the hydrogen that is 6 multiplied 2 of 12. Okay, so that's why we can see that there is also if you are conclude this particular of the equation. So there is a present of the 6 carbon as well as there is present of the 24 hydrogen. Okay, 6 multiplied to 6 multiplied 2, so that is 12 as well as there is a present of the 12 hydrogen. So the total number of the hydrogen that is 24 as well as there is a present of the 6 number of oxygen, there is a present of the 6 multiplied 2 of what is that? So that is 12 oxygen. So 12 plus 6 as well as there is a present of the 6 oxygen, so that is equal plus 6. So the total number of the oxygen that is 24. Okay, so that's why we can see that this particular of the equation is satisfied. So we can see that the particular of the equation is right. Okay, so basically in a simple way you are also remember this particular of the technique, so that's why you are easily helpful for understand that of any particular of the equation as well as you are do not confuse that. Okay, so that's why this is really help you. Okay, so let's go ahead. R 6CO2 plus 6H2O chlorophyll sunlight C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Okay, so basically we this particular of the equation of photosynthesis we are also write in this type just like in the denoted here like 6CO2 plus 6 as 2. Okay, so basically you are do not confuse that which equation is right. Okay, so both are equation that is right. Okay, so just in the first equation we takes off the 12 molecule of the water and takes off the 6 molecule of the carbon dioxide. But in the perspective of the equation we takes off the 6 molecule of the carbon dioxide and we takes off the 6 molecule of the water. Okay, so do not confuse that both are this particular of the equation is right. Okay, so let's understand this particular of the equation. Okay, so basically let's understand that just like we are also studied in the simple way in the first equation. So let's understand in a sample. So basically we also know about that the definition of the photosynthesis, that green rays and plants by the carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight produce glucose and release oxygen gas. This process is known as photosynthesis. Okay, so basically there is a present of the total number of the carbon, so that is okay, I'm derive here. Okay, you are understand that. So there is a present of the number of carbon, that is 6, as well as there is the oxygen present of the molecular form, so the total number of the oxygen, that is 12, as well as there is also present of the 6 the number of oxygen, that is 6, so the total number of the oxygen, that is 80. Okay, in the oxygen, how many oxygen that how many hydrogen is present here? So basically the total number of hydrogen, that is 12 hydrogen, that is 12. Okay, so let's understand this particular of the equation is right or wrong. Okay, so there is also present of the number of carbon, that is 6, so that is right, as well as there is present of the 12 hydrogen and there is the 6 multiplied of 2, so that is 12, as well as there is a present of the 6 oxygen, so the total number of the oxygen, that is 18. Okay, so that's why we can say that this particular of the equation is also right. Okay, so in that type we are also right here this particular of the photosynthesis their equation. Okay, so I hope you are understanding the perspective of photosynthesis, as well as we learned about what is the process has going on particular of the photosynthesis, and we learned about that particular of the equations, as well as we derive this particular of the equation. Okay, so let's understand that through image that how is happen this particular of the process of photosynthesis in a tree and plants. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so let's understand this particular of the image, and we understand that how this process has going on of any particular of the trees and plants, this particular of the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so let's firstly understand that where is take of this particular of the requirements for doing this particular of the process of photosynthesis. So there is a derive of sunlight, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, water, glucose and oxygen. Okay, so basically trees and plants are takes off the sunlight through sun, carbon dioxide takes off the in the environment, chlorophyll, so where it takes off the chlorophyll. So basically chlorophyll that is also present in the trees and plants, as well as I also taught you perspective of chlorophyll, that the perspective of the chlorophyll of any particular of the trees and plants, their color is become of green. Okay, and where it takes off the water, so basically trees and plants takes off the water through their root. Okay, so in this particular of the things that is also takes of this particular of the apparatus requirement by the perspective of process of photosynthesis. Okay, so basically then after this particular of the process has going of the photosynthesis, then after that produce of the glucose as well as release of the oxygen gas. Okay, so and also I remember that one thing that do not confuse that the trees and plant that is also go out of the glucose, that is not go out of the glucose. Glucose that is also just content of the trees and plants. I for just denoted that is also available in the glucose, so that's why I've derived here that is also a glucose that is present in the trees and plants. Okay, as well as I remember that trees and plants that is also go out of the oxygen gas. Okay, so basically trees and plants that is also have go out of the oxygen gas. Okay, so yeah, remember that. So in that type of any particular of the trees and plant, that particular of the process has happened of the photosynthesis. Okay, so let's understand that we also learned about photosynthesis, as well as we learned about that the reaction. We can say that what is the process of the photosynthesis, and we learned of the perspective of the photosynthesis with images. So let's understand that where is happen where is happen that any particular of the taste and plants of the perspective of the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so let's understand that where is happen the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so let's understand that the process of photosynthesis is a happened of tree and plants, their leaves or green parts. So where is happened the process of photosynthesis? So yeah, remember that the process of photosynthesis is a happened of tree and plants, their leaves or green parts. Okay, so just you also observe this particular of the images I derive here, like this particular of the process has happened in that trees, their leaves. Okay, so yeah, remember that where is happens the perspective of the process of photosynthesis. So basically the process of photosynthesis is a happen of tree and plant, their leaves or green parts. Okay, so I hope you are understanding that photosynthesis. So if you have any question, so you can ask me, I really give your answer. So if you have any question, you can ask me, I really give your answer. So this is enough for today. So let's meet in the next video. Take care, bye bye, thank you.